small town of Caldera Hollow, where the sun rarely pierced the dense fog. An invisible weight hung in the air, as if the very atmosphere conspired to shroud its residents in a cloak of dread. The streets echoed with a melancholic stillness, broken only by the distant tolling of a clock, an eerie reminder of time's relentless march, even when it felt forever suspended in an eternal dusk. By night, shadows stretched grotesquely, twisting around the pale light of flickering street lamps, struggling against an unseen force that fed the town's sense of foreboding. Evelyn Farnsworth, a newly arrived schoolteacher, sensed the pervasive unease seeping into her bones. Locals exchanged hushed whispers about the bitter winters and haunting tales concealed within the fog. They spoke of the old church, a sprawling edifice with a steeple clawing at the sky, where townsfolk had gathered centuries ago for what they grimly referred to as the Reckoning. Here, they claimed, a dark prophecy was born, laying a curse over Caldera Hollow that settled like ash. The warnings against discussing it were like forbidden fruit, and all Evelyn could do was succumb to her curiosity. The first sign of something amiss came subtly when a student presented a drawing of the church, a nightmarish vision adorned with grotesque figures, cloaked in shadow, their faces twisted in silent, anguished screams. Evelyn, her voice trembling, asked, "Who are they?" "Those who don't believe," the child replied, eyes wide as saucers. "They come for what you hold dear." A chill crawled down Evelyn's spine, but she quickly dismissed it, attributing the child's words to an imaginative mind born of the dark folklore that haunted the town. However, as days passed, the landscape of Caldera Hollow revealed an unspeakable malevolence she could no longer ignore. Her dreams darkened, filled with visions of the church, unearthly whispers curling around her, urgent and enticing. A knot of anxiety tightened in her chest as dark shapes flitted between the trees, momentarily visible through the thick fog. They beckoned with silent, knowing gestures, a chilling puppeteering that gnawed at the edges of her sanity. As weeks trickled by, reports of missing pets and bizarre, near-fatal accidents plagued the town. A current of paranoia tightened its grip on the community, transforming neighborly exchanges into furtive glances and hushed suspicions. Evelyn's classmates arrived at school bearing unsettling tales, unremarkable reports of family feuds morphing into grotesque reflections of her own nightmares. The very fabric of morality began to fray, distorting motives and twisting beliefs into tangled knots of doubt. Determined to confront the source of her escalating fear, Evelyn ventured to the church, her heart pounding as the heavy doors creaked open, revealing an interior steeped in shadows and thick with dust, as if memories long forgotten hovered in the air. Amid the pews lay remnants of ancient rituals, scattered offerings of hair, coins, and ashes. It was then that she stumbled upon a large tome. As she read the chilling prophecies inscribed within, her breath hitched, pain shooting through her heart. It foretold a reckoning that demanded a price, sacrifice of the innocent. With the town gripped by a fervor, blending fear and desperation, Caldera Hollow became a breeding ground for the sinister. An unspoken understanding thrummed silently through its streets, each person becoming entangled in a web of existential dread and moral vacuity. Friends turned against one another, blinded by a lurking paranoia that twisted noble intentions into grotesque manifestations of betrayal. The circle sealed tighter. No one was exempt. As midnight approached, a gathering formed near the church, drawn by an almost ethereal compulsion, hauntingly familiar, yet achingly foreign. Trapped in a maelstrom of anxiety, Evelyn pushed through the crowd, feeling the seeds of panic buried deep within them. Within the church's dark embrace, moonlight filtered through aged glass, illuminating figures writhing in shadows, echoing the forms in her nightmares. Their whispers filled her mind, urging her to choose, an unwilling participant drawn deeper into their cosmic game. With trembling hands, she felt the fabric of consequence unravel. Did she need to sacrifice a piece of her soul to quell the lurking forces? Or could she remain as a mere witness, while others danced toward oblivion? No longer was it a distant prophecy, but a stark truth etched into her very being. Through tear-streaked cheeks that froze in the chilling night air, Evelyn confronted the encroaching shadows, distorted mirrors of her own inner turmoil. As darkness consumed her, the ground beneath trembled. The moment hum suspended, fraught with choices, lost to time, where humanity unraveled in haunting echoes of frailty. Within the horror of the unknown, the night wriggled and writhed, leaving only uncertainty and fear, as belief entwined itself with relentless dread. The reckoning had arrived, yet in its culmination, the veil of human understanding was torn apart, revealing unfathomable depths of despair. Gasping for breath, Evelyn felt the town and its inhabitants engulfed by oppressive murk, echoing with a judgment rooted in moral decay, an everlasting echo of despair, forever shrouded in cosmic shadows.